he became a great dancer during the course of the season. I think he didn't dance at all beforehand, and then he has to do so much dancing, and by then he'd be like dancing on set. He'd always be like stretching or doing like physical therapy.
Afterparty season 2 is so good. I love it so much. I'm really excited for other people to see it so that I can talk about it finally. Because I'm going to spoil this if I'm not careful, and I'm trying really hard not to do that in this interview. But Poppy, I wanted to start with you and ask, over the course of the episodes, we see the perspective of the story from each character in kind of a different genre, angled towards their personality. And I wondered if there was a specific one that you enjoyed working in most, any of the different sort of time periods and genre styles.
I did love my character's episode with Jane Austen. It's just really good. You know, it like is one of those things where like you just give the people what they want. You know, like you have the golden hour lighting and you have this set design, you have like the fantasy of it, you have the love story. You know, we have literally a rain scene. Like, come on, they really were just like, let's give the people what they want. So that one was great, but also John's episode with like a lot of dancing. I did kind of a different version of that wedding dance for every episode depending on the genre, but the most elaborate version was for John's episode, and it was just really fun to like work on the choreography together. John's so wonderful to like work with and dance with. He became a great dancer during the course of the season. I think he didn't dance at all beforehand, and then he has to do so much dancing, and by then he'd be like dancing on set. He'd always be like stretching or doing like physical therapy. Got like really, it was like so sweet to watch. But those are probably my favorites.
That is really interesting. Vivian, can I ask you about that experience with dancing with John? Because, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but episode specific, you do a lot of dancing with John.
Right. I loved dancing with John, and he's just a marvelous person to be around. And, like, he's so giving. Like, he's really kind. He's a kind soul. So we practiced a lot. And on the day, I just didn't expect we actually pulled it off in such a beautiful manner. And it was very, very, very satisfying and rewarding. And to me, it really, it was a dream come true.
That's so cool. At one point, I turned and looked at my wife and I was like, the writing on this is just phenomenal. Like, this season is just, it is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, I love it so much. Poppy, Did you guys go into filming knowing what the ending was, or did they kind of give you certain scripts prior to that and then you worked your way up to it?
I don't remember when they gave the final script, but it was kind of early on.
Okay.
Yeah, before when I was just reading for the job still, I think they sent me the first 3, and I was like reading them to like in preparation for like I had like a Zoom call with Chris Miller and Anthony King, and I was like reading them with the intention of like, you know, doing some like note taking, looking at like the character, but I ended up just kind of binge reading it because I got caught up in the world, and I was kind of like, oh my god, like you what? So it's so fun. It's like the TV equivalent of a page turner, I feel like. But when they did, I think there was like a distinct week when they released the final episode and like everyone in the cast read it, but some people read it before other people. So we were trying to like not spoil it for each other, or some of the people in the crew hadn't read it yet. And I think everyone is so like they love the mystery of the show. So we were all trying to not spoil it for each other, even on set, until like everyone had read it.
Oh, listen, I get it. I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. And I have a cat here who's trying to get me to get off of this interview. So thank you guys both very much.
Thank you.